Hello. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Andy Malafrina. Pat George will be joining us potentially later. He had some things to attend to today. Unfortunately, he texted me this morning. He said, I will most likely be on for the tail end of the stream. And I'm excited about that because I want, one, I just love Pat. I just love him so dang much. He's the apple of my eye, the birds to my bees. No, and I do want to get his take on. I had a so after Friday, I did have a game plan of like, what if I just stealthily make this into a fucking MMA podcast? Dunbar first in the chat. We got Kligo first over on YouTube and Derek second in the chat on Twitch. But Wiggerly up front, loud and ready. Just just to everyone in the chat. If you're listening to this later on iTunes or Spotify, if you're listening to this later on iTunes or Spotify, you can go over to youtube.com/ at dragleague732. That is youtube.com/ at. It's a really weird thing they do. Rather than just doing normal URLs, you have to type in youtube.com/ at dragleague732. And you can come in, hang out in the stream, watch it live. Also, twitch.tv/ Andy Malfrina. You can also watch the stream live there. It's a fun fucking time. I was just joking. So Pat's not here with us at the moment. He had some important things to take care of. But I gotta tell you, I shouldn't act like Here, wait, let me post on Twitter real quick. Drag the Lake is live. Come hang. What a very inviting fucking thing. No, but Pat is he's one of the best MMA guys I've ever talked to, and he's a close friend. Actually, let me send this link to him before I forget, so we don't have a repeat of the last time. So funny, the whole stream being like, yeah, that's so funny. Sorry, I was going to send the link to Pat. Wait, let me show you this. This is my favorite fucking thing. There's this account called Accidental Bronson. Matt and Shane made it to it. Standing eating ice cream cake on the phone with Tony Yayo. It's so fucking funny. Wait, can't show you the DMs. Can't show you all the people. Monday's the day to fucking stream. You boys get in here right and early. Okay, there we go. Let's send this to Pat. Yeah, I do implore you guys, get in the live chat because it's a little bit disjointed especially when it's just me. When it's just me, and I don't have Pat to keep the reins on track. The Wiggers of Wiggerly. That's so funny. I was gonna bring that up. Yeah, no, I've kind of like thrown it out there. It's kind of funny with all the things Pat does and likes to talk about and stuff. He doesn't often seem to want to do MMA, or I think he like we just did it last week. He loves talking MMA on here, and we did it last week, and he's great at it, and he's fucking good. Also, it's easy for me. It's easy for me to get clips. Wait, let me post again the Twitch link. Sorry, guys. I'm posting links and stuff. We'll be locked in 2 seconds. It's the beginning of the pod. If you're listening in the future, skip ahead. All this stuff is much more tolerable if you're watching it in stream. But no, it's easier to make clips and shit like that. And also too, it's just like, I gotta tell you, man, I don't want to just talk about the news every day anymore. I mean, I like talking about shit like that, but you know what I mean? It's tough. It's like, it's an important thing for people to talk about. It's important thing for people to talk about, and I think it's important. I like talking about it with us because I think we have a good perspective, and I think a big thing in anything getting better in this like fucking shitty world we live in, it's going to have to be a lot of people, fixing how they think. Cause I think it's kind of funny. I've been listening to this audiobook. It's very interesting. It's called you guys have probably heard it before, but it's by that dude Edward Bernays. It's from back in the day, and it's literally called Propaganda. Yeah, Propaganda, Edward Bernays. He basically literally wrote the book on how to propagandize people properly. And he I don't know if there was some big overarching government like conspiracy with the dude. I just think he figured out the perfect way to do it for big businesses. Basically, so these businesses can, sell you some dog shit. They can trick you into like selling dog shit. Like they did it with the most notable example they did it with was cigarettes. I forget the long roundabout way they specifically did it. Wait, I know it might be a pain, but updating your link in old PITM episodes would be sick. I just spent 10 minutes wondering why the link doesn't work till I check the newest episode. Oh yeah. I might just have to take the L on that. I appreciate you caring, Matt. I can I know I can fix those in I should take some time to I know I can personally fix those on the YouTube the way. Oh no, I have access to the spot. Yeah, my problem is I've spent and I've earned this. I've earned this bullshit. Is like I knew Andy was gonna be like, nah. Well, I was about to say nah, but then I was like, it would help to fix it for moments like this. Cause like, I'm the redheaded stepchild of the panties verse, but at the same time, like there's motherfuckers looking for me like Matt Mind's trying to fucking figure it the fuck out. No, you know what it is? I more got distracted by the thought of like how much past Andy has made current Andy's life exhausting in a hilarious way, just because it would be constantly changing. Like, no, this isn't right. This is what the thing should be called. So it's like there's probably in the life of Panties in the Mouth, there's probably been like I've probably changed URLs and the different URLs I provided down below and all these other things like 50 fucking times. And it was just this suggestion made me think about all the work it would take and how long. But I do like doing a repetitive task while listening to a podcast. So they might actually be fun for myself. No, but and then the reason why I kind of like changed my mind is like I was like, I should do it though. Because it'll be like there's versions of Panties where my Twitter handle is still Andy Got Jokes. And I remember that was funny for the time, but I was like, I don't know, it was still this like weird old shit where it's like, I don't want my job to find out about this. Ugh. Just yeah. Ugh. Anyway, I've had to work. It's been 5 degrees. I just stood there and watched Instagram Reels the last 2 days. That sucks. The news doesn't talk about how tough Patty Pimblett is for taking a beating like that. Well, I think honestly, like I was telling Lemaire about this when we were not going to Fort Worth this weekend. I'll tell you guys about that. But when me and Lemaire were not going to Fort Worth, we were planning on it, but then, dude, it was so funny. I don't know if Lemaire wants me telling you this. I don't think he'd care. It's nothing like scandalous. It's just, well, the one show, basically like, I don't know. It was, well, no, it was just because of the weather. It was because of the weather. Like people were afraid to have shows this weekend. People were afraid to go to shows. So it's like, we had to cancel shows this weekend. And, but it was funny just because there was bad communication on it from like the club and us and stuff like that. And us checking in, the club checking it, just on both sides and stuff like that. And fucking Lemaire comes to my house. I think we drive an hour, and Lemaire just happens to like check his email, and there's like an email about like, I don't know if we should do the show tonight. Then he starts talking to the guy, and we decide to reschedule it just so it's like, you know, worth everyone's time a little bit more, because it's like, it's not that Lemaire can't, you know, it's not that like Lemaire can't fill the fucking room. It's just, if you do it the weekend that every Texan thinks they're gonna die if they step outside, it's like, yeah, you're probably not gonna have many people wanting to step outside. And so it's kind of funny. We hung out, we drove there, and then realized then that they were like, let's reschedule the show. So we just drove back to my place. So me and Lemaire just on Friday had a lovely 2 hours in the car together, and we had a lovely time talking to each other, which was very funny too, because I know you're supposed to ignore you're not supposed to read the comments. We talk about this all the time. You're not supposed to read the comments, but there was one comment that was making me laugh, just because, like, the important thing is to not, I've been doing a very great job lately of not like taking them seriously. You know, it's, you're supposed to, like, it's I'm learning you're not supposed to read them and go like, why would you say that? Because it's like, you know, because, well, me and Pat were talking about this. It's like there's different tiers of people who like observe your content. And there's a lot of the people who, you know, it's a lot of the people who watch the comedy drama channels. They're very active, but at the end of the day, a lot of, and you know, a lot of those people, they're all very active in the scene and in the internet space and stuff like that. But a lot of those guys will not affect your paycheck or affect how many people are like coming to your shows. Like Bert Kreischer's the best example. Like if you just paid attention to the internet and what social media said about, especially this weekend, because a lot of Bert haters are hating on his show. And I know they're being weird because it's all about him the joke's constantly about his teenage daughter jerking a guy off, but it's like, I don't know, man. I thought it was pretty funny. And I even saw some of the people like being like, oh my God, Bert, can you believe you're gonna make a show about that? And you're like, I don't know, dude, watch the show. Like, I get it, on paper it seems fucking crazy, but watch the show. The way it goes, you're like, oh yeah, this is what would happen if a retarded dad from Florida had to be with this, had to deal with this situation. I don't know. I watched it. I watched the whole thing. I fell asleep during the last episode, but I watched the whole thing, and I fucking love Bert's new show. I know it's not cool to say Bert's good at anything, but I've been a Bert fan since day one. I get why people shit on him, but that's why I love him. So I don't know what to tell you, dude. I watched but yeah, that's what I was talking about. If you just pay attention to like what comedy drama, like what the internet says, you'd be like, oh, Bert's done for. The walls are closing in on Bert Kreischer right now. And then it's like, yeah, dude's still selling out fucking giant. I don't know what he's doing. Either giant arenas or giant theaters or small arenas. I know he's selling out arenas with the fucking whatever that dope big ass tour he has is called. I always forget what it's called, but no. Also, too, for everyone who bitches about Bert, I haven't experienced it firsthand, but from what I've seen and what I heard comics say, he like hooks comics up. He like pays them real well, and when they're out on tour, they're like doing cool shit every day. And it's just like he tries to make it like a fun party summer camp thing. I don't know. Bert rules. Bert rules. I love Bert. I love Bert so much. But yeah, it's like dude's selling out fucking huge venues. So you realize it's like a lot of those guys, this is just like their Real Housewives, which is fine. I'm not even like crying about it. It's like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, those dudes get you more buzz and people talking. And then they're actually kind of beneficial as long as, well, here's the thing. The problem is you like need real fans. That's what like Jeff Dye's going through right now. Because Jeff Dye doesn't have like a strong core fan base. He has a type of career where like he can get work. He can always like sell out clubs and stuff like that. But when it comes to like, you know, when it comes to this shit, he doesn't have like that strong. Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell because I don't know how many people like is Jeff Dye bringing Jeff Dye fans to the show, Or is Jeff Dye like enough of a name that people go like, oh, I know that guy, and they're able to like fill the room? Because also too, like I know a lot of you guys, you're not necessarily active. Super well, no, I've seen a bunch of you guys on social media. Because that's the hard question: is like, is it just the cretins on social media? Which it's not. You know what I mean? You see it a lot of times when like, certain comedians who are polarizing. Like Lewis and Dave popped to my head. Like they're very polarizing, but whatever Dave's fans are called, and then the Gomites, they assemble pretty well. Fuck, you've seen me getting Dave's back, because you guys know I fuck with Dave so much. You see me getting his back. I love it's been my passion lately to harass Matt Walsh and Dan Bongino. It's so fun. It's so easy too. It's so easy. They make it because they're such dishonest, and they're so dishonest, and they're, oh yeah, it's Inner Circle. That's right. I was in the OG Inner Circle. They were mean to me. I asked stupid questions, and they were very mean to me. And I was like, this is why no one likes libertarians, because you guys are cunts. But other people make us into cunts. You know what I mean? But you guys are cunts. But then either way, no, you see that, like, Dave and Lewis are very polarizing people that a lot of people hate, but just as many people hate them, they have their fans that ride or die for them. And it's like, that's where I feel like that's where you like run into the trouble, where it's like, if you don't have that, you still need that like core fan base to like ride or die for you, or else it feels imbalanced. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this, but like, I think Bert Kreischer proves that, where it's like, yeah, he's still got his like fucking people that are just like, I fucking love Bert. And where was I going with this earlier? I forget where I was at with this earlier. Oh yeah. I was talking about yeah. So it's like, that's why I've been talking about these comments more. I'm just more fascinated with that sect of the fan base. That sect of the fan base is very interesting to me, because if you let them, this is what I was saying to Lemaire, that I realized, and me and Pat were talking about this on Friday, but it was like, that sect of the fan base, they're not even exactly fans, because like, to me, if you enjoy my shit, but like nothing you've done has like putting money in my pocket, you're more of like an observer to me, but if your viewership of me has provided me with, whether it be a fucking penny or $1,000, like, then I was like, I also don't like the term fan. Fan's weird. You know what I mean? Maybe just viewer, observer, appreciator. I don't know. Fan is a weird term to me. But like, if you're gonna call someone a fan, it's like, if you don't actually provide any, if you just like their shit, and if you just like their shit, and at no point do they get any of your money, you know what I mean? That to me is hell yeah, Punk Rock Seinfeld. Go check out Punk Rock Seinfeld. Me and Pat have worked on that, and we got something in the lab cooking up with the dog, Punk Rock Seinfeld. We got something in the lab. Yeah. What was I talking about? I thought I call myself another 3-letter word. Yeah, that you guys aren't fans, you fags. But no, it's like this thing of like, it's funny because there's this pocket of people that interact with your content a shitload, but they don't provide you any, like, I mean, like, if they're watching your YouTube videos and creating engagement, you make a little money off of that. But let's be real. It's like, the real money you're making are off of the people who join your Patreon. They buy your shit. They do, like, you know what I mean? So there's this, like, I don't know what the term for them would be. I don't know, and because I want to think of a term that's not just like, because it's like, I want to express my neutrality towards them. I'm no like, angry. It's just part of it. You know what I mean? But yeah, and then that group, they're just kind of there. They don't provide you a lot of like financial gain. They're just an interesting class of people consuming your content. And but the funny part too, the problem where it's like, and this is why you need your core people. And this is why, and I'm not just trying to like jerk you guys off right now, although I would if you came to a show, like that's in the VIP package. I know a lot of comics don't do meet and greets. I don't do meet and greets. Like we can just hang out after the show, but I will do, if you give me extra money, I will jerk you off to completion. That is the big red, big package, big promise. That's the big red, big package, big promise that I will provide you beautiful people. But, fuck, what was I talking about? Oh, but they have, because they're a very active, I don't do meet and greets. I greet your meat. Would you see my fucking Instagram this weekend, dude? I am the meat boy. I am the fucking meat boy. Dude, you see this shit? I forget if I was talking about it. Where is it? Yeah, I am the meat boy. What did I do before that? Oh, yeah, that was funny. But yeah, did you see that shit? I am the meat boy. Those are my leftovers from Interstellar. Did I talk about that? Well, oh yeah, I think I talked. My boy Taylor hooked it up. We went to Interstellar and it was so fucking good. If you guys have a chance, Interstellar, North Austin, holy fucking shit. Where is it actually? Because it's like way up north to be still considered technically Austin. Barbecue. Okay, yeah, the address is still technically Austin, but it's like way up north. I don't know. To me, Austin is like the city. Austin is like the city. You know, because all yeah, that to me is like not Austin. Yeah, because where's this? Yeah, here's like downtownish area, and then this also too is very Austin, and then Interstellar is all the way over here. I mean, like, dude, when you're parallel with Round Rock, you're over by Cedar Park, Jonestown. That's not Austin, but it's like address, because I think where I live is my address. No, yeah, my address isn't Austin, but I'm like Interstellar's as far from downtown as it is from my place and shit like that. Tell Texas to change the map. I will. I'll be on the phone with them. Oh, but yeah, the problem is it's like I don't, with that extra group, I guess for me it's like the problem is if like those people get a hold of you and they like run with that narrative, it can kind of skew the perception for people who aren't like locked in. You know what I mean? That's like my only thing, because the thing I've been learning more with the fact that, you know, I still watch them. I don't watch them for as long, and this is why. I still peruse the drama channels. But now that I'm like more in the mix, and they're actually like they're talking about people I know, and I'm like, well, no, that's not. And then it's like a lot of them too are just talking about Austin in general, and it's like, you know, I'm not past at the mothership, but I'm like friends with everyone who is, and I'm, you know, I've been there, and I know, like, it'll be something as simple as like, well, this is the vibe in the green room, and then it's like, well, I've been in the green room a handful of times, and I know enough to know that like you might have had a weird night, you know, stuff like that. And I'm not saying it's like heaven down here, but I'm just like, you have a better perspective. But it's like, that's the problem is, oh, but anyway, like, I get it's just, you get a better perspective on how bad people's perspective are, and how like people are just very flippant about what they're talking. Like my favorite one, I was watching the latest Too Lazy to Try, and that one was very funny because they kept being like, the latest Too Lazy to Try, he kept talking about all the Austin, New York shit. And then whenever he would bring up Lemaire, he'd be like, Shane Gillis's producer. And you're like, you're doing that on purpose, you little fucker. Shout out Too Lazy to Try. But I was like, you do that on purpose, you little fucker. You monotone bitch. Nah, I'm being nasty. I don't mean it like that. Too Lazy to Try. I've been very entertained by a lot of his stuff. But yeah, you see all these people talking, and that's what I was saying to him. he had this one part in the Too Lazy to Try video. And he's talking about Rogan, talking about the beef, and he's being like, it's so silly, it's just so dumb, da 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 da. And obviously, like, Rogan is much more like Rogan's approach to things versus say like Lewis's approach to things. Like, what's the term? You play it close to the vet. Like Lewis, and this is what I respect about Lewis. Lewis will be like to a fault, like where he's admitting to it was hard to not jerk off to that Uncle Laser getting blown by that adult that looked like a child video. Lewis will be like, it was hard. Not you're like, hey man, don't it? It's making me uncomfortable. You're admitting to that. But then also in other venues, he'll be like super fucking honest where you're like, I respect that. No other comedian will be that honest. And then when Rogan's like Rogan clearly, Rogan's being honest the whole time, but he's being more tactful about it. You know, he's being much more tactful about it. And but like you can tell when he's talking about it, he's like, he's like, I'm a billionaire and I got other things to worry about, but also I am seeing this and I am a comedy guy. And this is like, it's like eye rolling and shit like that. It's like he's basically in a very much more mature way expressing the thought we've all expressed. Where like, this is just gay to have this conversation in general. But then he does that and he's talking a very even keel, mature way. And then Too Lazy to Try is just like, yeah, so it's clearly eating him up inside. It's like, I don't know if it's eating him up inside. It's like he's got so many other things to worry. That's the thing too, where like people aren't able to measure how much this. I wish there was a way when you're talking about things. Like I wish when you talked about something, like a little light could appear that ranges from like green means you don't care, that green means you're not that mad about it, and then red means you're furious about it. So then it's like, and then yellow means you're like medium about it, and like different range from green to red. Like we've all seen this scale. So people, because it's like but this is why at the end of the day you just got to worry about yourself, and you just got to express yourself in the most honest way, and then just make it what am I trying to say? Just be like, it's other people's job to catch up, because that's really the thing. That was always the thing that would like drive me fucking crazy, is I'd be like, but no, these people have to, and that's the trap you get caught into with the like sort of they're not trolls, but they're not like fans. They're this like in between thing. They almost like, it's this weird thing where it's like they want you to be good. That's where you get fucked up, because a true troll doesn't want doesn't want anything good to happen. They just want to cause chaos. But whatever this other thing is, they want you to be good. The problem is they're grumpy and they're miserable. So like they have this really high bar, but at the same time they don't even know what they want, because you go like, well, what is good? And then that's like a harder conversation to have. Hey, Big Pat in the morning. How you doing, brother? I was just
I'm doing good.
I was just rambling about shit. I'm still trying to figure out this, like, remember we were talking about that like new type of, it's not new, but I'm realizing it's this like comedy fan in between. It's this like comedy fan in between actual fan, but like straight up troll. So it's like that person that likes comedy.
Critics.
Yeah, but like there's this thing where
they stink.
There's this thing. Well, yeah. Well, I'm not. What?
It's just a reference to the show.
Sorry. I remember it now. I've never watched it.
Some of them do stink though, but
well, no, some of them. The more I'm like, if you want to learn how bad a critic is, try to learn how to do the thing they're criticizing. Because like you'll hear people. Well, here's my thing. You don't even necessarily have to have quality output, but like if you've actually tried the thing the artist you're criticizing has tried, you're going to have an appreciation for the process of doing it. That's the problem with most critics, is they don't fully appreciate the process as well as the outcome. Because I was having a big I was having this funny like existential hippie thought where about like criticisms in general and stuff, because it like because I was watching a bunch of TV and movies, and it was like I was thinking about people not liking something because they were like, well, I just can't relate to it. And I go like, how can you not relate to it? They made it for you. Because like they made it being like, I hope everyone likes it. So like they kind of like I know that's kind of like a hippie-ish way of looking at it, but they kind of made it for you. Because like everyone, like I know not everyone's gonna like this podcast, but I hope everyone does. Like I would love it if everyone, that'd be cool. You know what I mean? You almost
I don't know. I think it's weird. Like there's like a weird hipstery type thing of like being like, I'm not trying not to be for everybody, but it's like one of those things. Like I've completely accepted that like nobody is 100% liked by anybody. It's so close. Like I can't imagine. I feel like John Cena's close. Michael Jackson before even the allegations, but even still, there's like so many people that talk. Even John F. Kennedy. I thought about like when John F. Kennedy we had a Dealey Plaza shout out in the comments, but like even like because I used to think like back in the day, like people were used to be civilized and blah blah blah. And, like, damn, in the '60s, people were like, Kennedy's dead, good. Just like, wow, you're supposed to be the ones that are still scared. Like you think everything's cool and nice. You know what I mean? Like we've been exposed to a lot of bullshit and like crazy like mass hysteria since that. I mean, and then a lot of them are war veterans and stuff like that. They've dealt with real trauma.
Well, no, a lot of like a big low grade psyop that they do to us all the time is like people used to be civilized back in the day, and you're like, no, they just no, you look back and there's less people wearing pajamas and stuff. You know what I mean? It's just like you couldn't like. It's the same way. It's the same reason we like every dumb American thinks British people are all smart. You're like, no, you just associate that with Shakespeare, and that's like, you know. Also, too, you ever go like, yeah, people used to wear suits on the plane. I go, that's kind of retarded. I got to tell you, as a guy who's ridden on, done a few flights in my life, the suit on the plane's fucking stupid.
Again, there was some people that wear like matching pajama, like they put on their pajama pants and their pajama top, and they go to, you know what I mean? Like,
dude, did I tell you about those people I saw at Circle K?
I feel like that sounds familiar. Yeah,
the guy had like a pajama. I don't know if it was like a top or just like a blanket. I couldn't tell, but his pajama top matched his girlfriend's pajama pants. Like they were from the same set, you know. That I think maybe Gucci. I don't know, Walmart, one of those two. And I was trying to figure out a joke, but like the line I was stuck on, I wanted to go up to him and go, "Do you even know what we say about you?"
Yeah.
Like, how do you not know? The thing I was saying about
that's a good point too, brother. Triple G. Yeah, people used to be civilized. We're less than 100 years removed from colored based water fountains.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where like since we've had live broadcast television, there's been up like where they're like, wait a minute, they're gonna let them go to the same building as me? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So, like it was just like one of those things of like it used to be we pretended like the way we acted was good.
Yeah.
Like it used to be the way we treated people was accepted, and now it's like, hey, wait a minute, that hurts my feelings and my body.
It was also too like the the general nature of life forced you to be more resourceful, and people are less resourceful now. That's really what it is.
That's a great point. Yeah, people have way less problem solving skills.
Yeah, it's way hard. It's easier to not die. It's easier to not die.
This lady this morning, I was cleaning off my car, or I got back from taking Dom to work, and I was getting out, and she's like, I got out of my car, and she was walking past mine. She's like, "At least yours will open. Mine won't open." And she was just walking back in her house. She just gave up. Her car door wouldn't open, so she just left. She was just leaving.
That's a funny one.
Like, well, you got to get all the clear stuff on the outside. You got to pound it out. Free it.
There is something about, and I don't know if it's the luxury of living in the Northeast and having to deal with snow, but like, from what I've gathered, there's something that like just cold weather and snow fries people's brains down here.
People down here, they're so upset. Like, there's people that I've seen online that are like, "I love how Northerners just think that we just have 100 plows." Well, when every other year your state gets fucked by ice and snow,
yeah,
that's a good investment to have in your state. The reason we all expect it to happen is because we all have noticed it happen. It just happened every year for us, so we got all the stuff.
Yeah,
you just get a little less stuff, but then know how to use it, like, because it's not a rare occurrence. You fucking idiots.
Yeah, it's like, hey, how about we skip a week of making the highway double decker, and you just spend that on plows. Yeah. Like, I got to imagine like one beam. Whenever you see that they have to get like the double truck to bring one beam, I go like, that's got to be the same as a plow. Just skip one of those 1 week, and we'll get a plow.
Like, I don't know where the level of competency like begins, because I remember a couple years ago there was a hellacious winter storm in Atlanta that people like died on the highway because they didn't have
It was like an inch of ice,
and it was like it was like maybe an inch, and that was the thing of like completely manageable. And then here, for some reason, they just like literally, dude, for 2 days essentially, they just shut the city down. They just go like, well, don't go outside, don't drive, not even don't drive unless you have to, don't drive. We have done nothing to the roads. They salted the fuck out of them on like Thursday. The weather started on like fucking Saturday. I don't know. And the fact that, guess who fucking hauled ass again? That piece of shit, Ted Cruz, saw the weather, said ruh-roh, and hauled ass on out to fucking Mexico.
Did he actually leave again?
Yes. Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Nah, because I saw you sent me one, and I noticed the caption said, "This is from last year, but still." So I was like, okay, let's see if he actually does it this year. And then I get, okay, so it's like, that's the other bigger issue with politics in general is like, this is like the 4th time he's done this. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's crazy he's done it a 2nd time, because it's like, what do you got to do, Ted? What do you got to do? Just stay in your gigantic fucking mansion.
They think when everything doesn't go completely wrong, like a bunch of people didn't lose power, a bunch of people didn't lose water, like they call that a success, but you had nothing to do with that. It was just the fact that, like, except for just saying, hey, it's going to be bad. Hey, look out, here it comes. And knowing, everybody here as a citizen knowing, oh, there's nobody going to be here at the wheel, so we better make sure that we fucking put our water on, do our whatever the fuck it is. Like,
yeah,
that's another thing too. I never turned my water faucets on in PA like that. I don't know.
I mean, my guess. Well, that was always a thing I think we would do. I know
Steph did do it in Florida when I lived in Florida. Like very rarely when it would go to freezing, we would say like, "Oh, we got to turn our water faucets on or whatever." But
well, to be fair, and this is why I was like, this is why I never faulted any Texans for worrying. Mm-hmm. Like, I guess what I'm making fun of the Texans for is like, okay, when you're in the midst of it, like you're telling me about that lady who just goes like, I don't know what to do. I guess I'll leave my car frozen. You're like,
she's just gonna go call out of work.
You're like, what if anything happens, lady? Like, you need your car, you dumbass. So, that's just like a hilarious lazy thing to do. Now in Texas, like Like, it's just by the nature of this state, they just do things differently. So, like, because it's so hot, they're not gonna, like, dude, my fucking bedroom has been ice cold the past couple days because it's just like the insulation is different down here.
Yeah.
We've had like 3 blankets on the bed because it's been so fucking cold going to sleep. And then like they don't however you make pipes, they don't make them as thick.
Yeah.
And dude, I was talking to this one dude. I was at a party for Steph's gym, and this one dude's like a landscaper, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we actually," or he was not a landscape. He did something with people's yards around houses, and he actually said he has to replace sprinkler systems a lot because the ground here, and it's why no one has a basement. The ground here is so tough. It's just a waste of time to like dig up the ground and put shit underneath it. So a lot of sprinkler systems are like surface level, and people fuck them up constantly because of that.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just little interesting things of why, like little interesting reasons of why they do stuff slightly different down here.
That's my one issue with like my fine line between the regulatory parts of the government, like as far as like infrastructure, building things, like construction, that I'm really like I gotta love hate. I haven't had to deal with it. I know it's a pain in the ass, and I know how stupid and bureaucratic it is. But also there's like, I don't know, man. It's not like as simple as the who's gonna build the roads kind of shit. But it's like, I don't know, man. Like I do like having somebody that's like, your job is to keep an eye on this shit. Your job is to like something as similar as like the pipes are really shitty for some reason. We don't have a basement. We can't do basements. We can't do this. And just going like, well, it's just too hard. We're just not going to do that here. Like, instead of every year or so having to put up crazy signs or just kind of run your water faucets 24/7, like, why not start working on that instead of building the double-decker highway? Why not like work on how your city runs before you add to your city? Because I've heard a lot of shit about the grid and all that other shit. But the other anything else is where if you experience weather, you know what I mean? Try to have some kind of plan or something. Like it's not a
and that's why that's a big reason. It's like there's like a misnomer that kind of like how you were saying, like there is a group making sure they're like they're making sure they're doing this shit right. But then it's like, well, wait, did you guys make sure to do it? And they're like, hey, man, shit happens. And you're like, no, you guys got to actually do it right when it's time to do it right.
Like when I'm driving on the road and I'm like, it's like 3:00 in the afternoon and there's crazy traffic. And I'm like, there's no events happening. There's no special anything. This is just poor. You designed this terribly. This should work perfectly. That's the reason we have it built, is to say like, okay, this one merges here. This one, how many lanes do we need for how many people are here? How much traffic does it? All of that stuff is somebody's supposed to be paying attention to that. And we're just still like, okay, so somebody's getting paid for the job of making sure everything runs smoothly, but they are absolutely not doing their job. When I just see a fucking plow truck pouring salt on the road. I'm like, you scatter it. You fucking make sure you can any one of you just call somebody in the Northeast and just go, hey, could you just give me a couple pointers on what do you guys do for the winter time? Because we just need it for like a week or two. And if we plan and train once, I feel like you could just add, like, there's people that are like, in that same lady, the lady that was commenting about like, I love how Northerners just think we have a bunch of plows and all this stuff. Like one guy was like, in my town, we just have plows that we attach to the dump trucks that when it gets really bad, we just I'm glad like
you said
plan.
Well, I'm glad you said that too, because whenever I think about stuff like that, and I don't know what the plow situation down here is. Well, it's also probably because you also got to think about money wise. It's probably not financially beneficial for a dude down here to just have a plow.
Yeah.
So, but then at the same time though, because there's a lot of situations where you'll be like, yo, why didn't someone just do this? And I go like, yeah, it's probably like there's probably illegal for you to do that or some shit like that. Like it's probably a thing of like that was the Daniel Penny incident where he subdued I think we talked about it recently. I talked about it with someone else. He like subdued that dude on the train, and people are always like, well, why don't more people do stuff like that? And it's like, because when that guy did it, he fucking went to trial forever. And it's like they might, now granted, he did put a sleeper hold on this guy that eventually killed him. And there's always that part where you're like, brother, like I feel like if you actually know what you're doing, you know when to like let go so he doesn't die. Now, if he's aggressively violent the whole time, then it's like you don't have a moment to like let up. But so that's where the gray area lies. But at the same time, it's like you guys are very aware of that. There's this big fear of when people actually do vigilante shit to like protect normal people. There's a chance you're gonna get fucking arrested. Like there's dudes who get their house broken into and shoot the intruder, and then they have to go to jail for shooting the guy that broke into their house.
Yeah.
So it's like there's always they call it anarcho-tyranny, where it's like you have the people following the rules and they're the ones who get in trouble, but the people who don't follow the rules, whether it's on the upper echelon or the lower, it's like the white collar crimes or the fucking regular street crimes. It's like those people are perfectly fine, but it's the people actually quote unquote following the rules that are getting fucking butt fucked.
Like legitimately in 2015, when we were moving to Pennsylvania from Florida, never driven in like winter snow or winter weather or anything like that. We had a rented U-Haul, and my mom and my wife were driving in our car, driving up north. Around North Carolina, there was around that year of the crazy record ice storm, winter storms, and all this other shit. Our U-Haul truck got covered in like a layer of ice. We, as Floridians, woke up the next day. We looked at the fucking news. North Carolina seemed to have their shit together as far as, I guess they're north enough that they seem to give a shit about weather and stuff like that. They were at least like letting people know, like, all right, well, should be clear. This is when it's going to be done, blah, 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 all this other shit. We woke up the next day. We fucking pounded the ice off the vehicles and drove. Like it's one of those things of It's a lot of common sense, but like there's people that are. But it's also like, but they don't have the common sense, especially like even simple things like, hey, you don't like the weather ended yesterday. It was done. Like there was no snowing, icing, raining, or anything yesterday at all.
It was basically
done.
Saturday night into Sunday. Because I remember Saturday was just real wet, and then I woke up Sunday and Friday was real wet, and then I woke up Saturday and I was like, oh, snow.
And they're just like, hey, we don't have the infrastructure for this. And you're like, but you've known this is coming. And this happens every other year. Like like you said, what happens if there's emergencies? What happens?
Yeah.
What are you going to do if like somebody says, holy shit, okay, yes, there's ice. Oh my God, it's snow day. There's a fire in my house. I need the fire department. And the fire goes, sorry, man.
It's
closed, man.
You know what the fucking irony is? Are the fire departments actually closed?
I'm pretty like how the fuck are they going to do it? There's a solid layer of ice on everything.
I'm not taking away from your point, but to be autistic, I feel like the fire departments are still open. Now, are they gonna? They gotta be. Are they gonna be doing 360s on the way there because it's icy? Sure.
Yeah.
But they're gonna get there.
It's a good thing they have 2 steering wheels on this sumbitch.
Yeah, they got a guy steering in the back. Let's keep it balanced. Oh no, I was gonna say, but it's like there's this irony too when you think about how there's like there's laws if you get fined if you don't have health insurance, and you're like, well, you guys that's what like insurance is for.
Yeah,
insurance is you're paying every month hoping something doesn't happen, but just in case.
Yeah.
Well, so it's like you guys force us to have car insurance, with exceptions.
Yeah.
And then, but also you can just not have it and get away with it. But no, it's like, but but like, let's just ignoring that. You guys force us to have car insurance. why can't you then have like maybe we should have government insurance, you know? We should have government insurance. I sound like such a fucking boomer, but for real, dude, it's like if you're gonna force me to have car insurance and health insurance and all this other shit, we should have government insurance where it's like, you know, yeah, on the rare occurrence they don't live up to their promises, we get a payment.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying is like what we pay like taxes for is for you to maintain the city and stuff like that. So when the city is shut down because you aren't able to maintain it, that means you've unfortunately failed at your job. You can't just say, "Well, it's going to be really hard coming up." Like Tom said, it was something like, "Oh, the power company was like, hey, just to let you know, there might be some outages, all this other stuff. Also, we're with higher demand." We are going to have to raise prices for this month. They will be a little bit higher. And it's like, no, 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 no. Yeah, you got to take that loss because sometimes I run my air conditioner too high and I use a lot of power. I pay more for that power.
Yeah.
So like I shouldn't be charged more for the power I'm paying for.
Do you get it back when you use less?
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like, do you give me never, ever, ever. Like,
yeah.
Is there any toll road that anybody is familiar with that has stopped charging tolls? Ever that was ever created?
Yeah, never. I know they do go down in price though, don't they, Pat?
Nope, not even once. They only go up. Maybe just a little bit, just incrementally, just a little each time. But that's what I'm saying is that's to maintain the bridge. And then you go, okay, so we're going to get on the bridge. Well, why is there a lane shut down for fucking a year and a half? Because they're maintaining it. So I'm paying you to inconvenience me? And then when it's the lane's open back up, Andy, that means the price is going to drop because obviously the work's done, right? No. We've allocated those resources to something else. And also, I got a nice bonus.
That's why one of my favorite quotes are,
why do we keep voting people in?
Well, because it's not, well, you're not voting people in. No. But that's the system.
Right.
Every year, the dumbest group of people get to pick a new dictator.
Yeah. They go, who's going to steal our money? I want to know. I want a familiar face with their hand in my pocket. That's what I want. Yeah. I want to know the guy that's taking my money. Or girl. Oh, you know what? Why don't we have a girl in there this time? Honestly, let's find out what it's like to have a girl steal our money. Come on, guys. Let's progress and let's have a fucking trans black woman.
Or that's the best meme, dude. You ever see that meme where it's like it's a bunch it's a bunch of people in like turbans, and it's a cartoon where it's like people in turbans and there's like a bomb being dropped and there's just like one lady being like, and these ones were dropped by a woman.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a different face for the same dumb asshole. But that's what I'm saying is like every time you go like weather report, senators leaving town, and then what happens? What do we have to do? Hey, all of you citizens, here's all the things that you guys are gonna have to do because it's about to get crazy.
Yeah.
And just a heads up, that's the nicest thing they've done so far is to be like, hey, make sure you have these supplies, make sure you have water, make sure you have this. Like, it was more helpful to scroll through fucking Instagram and hear people that have experienced Texas, people from the Northeast that have experienced Texas winters before, to be like, here's what you want to do. Like, if this was in the Northeast, it would be like, hey, let's go. All right, let's take tomorrow everything's going to be closed down. So let's in the morning, let's take the kids sledding. Then we'll come back. We'll cook some chili. We'll hang out. We'll play some games or whatever. It's like here, it's just like everything's shut down. And if you don't stay inside and keep all of your water running, we might all die.
This is why I always go. Like, I don't understand why it's so hard to convince people to want smaller government. And I mean it in the sense of like in the nicest interpretation. And you guys know we've, called the president a pedophile every chance we get. I just, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably trafficking children. Yeah. And, but like, let's give them the nicest interpretation. Let's glass half full.
Yeah.
The government for many years have been like, dude, we got this. And then it's like, bro, I don't think we got this. And like and they also were pedophiles too. They were pedophiles, but we're glass
Just a
half
heads up. Just a heads up.
glass half full. They're just hebophiles, Pat. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. We're trying to be positive.
My bad. 26.
But like, I guess my plea, if I was running for president, my campaign would be like, just stop trying to help because you guys aren't good at it. Like that's really because it's like I'm a big solutions guy. You know this about me, and I try to think. I go like, well, either we go, hey, just stop trying to help us. It can't be worse. Like us trying to do it ourselves can't be worse than you trying to help us. Cause it's like that to me is the most peaceful, best way to do it. Cause the other way to do it, it's just like, it's just going to be French Revolutionary and there's going to be Luigi's and stuff. And I just go like, I just don't want that. And also I'm not going to throw that out there cause I don't want to go to jail. I would never think to do that. That would never be fucking sick. But like, I legitimately, I'm just joking.
Yeah,
but
obviously, this is for educational purposes.
Okay, but when you say that, it sounds like I'm not joking. I'm just covering my ass.
Yeah, you're just educating people. Wait,
yeah.
Wait, is it comedy or?
But like, I think that's what they want us to do. They want us to French Revolution because that's what. If you don't know, that was the one where they were guillotining people's heads because the bourgeoisie was out of control.
Honestly, it was what Dustin Poirier over there or something? Don't be silly. Jump the killie.
Copy that, dude. But like, that's like that to me just seems like the best argument because it's like, bro, I was making the point. We were talking about Uvalde. I go like, and I mean this unironically, fucking Billy Bob and Jimbo with whatever guns they got at home could have protected Uvalde better than the entire police force. I mean that unironically. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
It's honestly, you're not really stating an opinion at this point. We've seen the video footage. Like, honestly, brother, even me, I'm the biggest fucking pussy in the world. If I was in that building and I had a gun, I would feel like I think I would make the stupid, impulsive thought. And you know what I'm saying? And this is purely speculation. This is a 100% hypothetical because
kids would still die if you were there.
I would absolutely, I would not save a lot of people, but I would definitely end the situation. Do you know what I'm saying?
You would end it quicker.
Exactly. Yes, that's the best way to put it. I would not make it better, but I would end it.
You would be hand sanitizing for an hour before you moved on anything.
That's what I'm saying. Is no matter what, I wouldn't be standing in the danger zone.
Yeah,
going like, well, they said to hold on. And it's like, no, like it would be one of those things where I'm like, guys, you know that this feels crazy and we're being filmed right now. So can we just like either act like we're going like, oh, what are we doing? We got to do it. Are we going to go in or not? Like, at least we got to like visually look like we're.
There's got to be one guy. There's got to be one guy being like, come on, boss, just let me in.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes, we have to have somebody that like there was one point where a parent, I think, wasn't there like a parent or somebody that was like trying to get in and they held them back? You're like, brother.
Tackled. Oh, that's when you guys start working.
And that's what I'm saying is like I can say without hyperbole, without any speculation, I think personally those guys not very great at their job.
Man,
and I don't think I'm speaking out of school.
Dude. That's a hot take. No, man, this also might be a legitimate hot take for some people to wrap their head around.
Sorry to hot dog this early, guys. I'm really so sorry about that. This is early. This is a Monday, and we're already hard. This is
brother. There's still an A and an M on the hour mark.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah, dude. Pat, that's pretty early to Wahlberg the fuck out.
Not the best at their job. I mean, they're great guys, I'm sure, but they're just, not the most secure at this, I think.
Yeah, no, dude. I had the realization because everyone was like, every year the Republicans are like, we got to defund. They want to defund the Department of Education, and then a bunch of people will be like, "Oh, so you don't want kids to learn?" And you're like, "Well, I'm not here to say if the Department of Education's doing a good or a bad job. I don't know enough about the subject, but like, you guys got to have more brains than that to just be like, well, that's the only way children learn."
Yeah.
You're like, well, if we don't have a Department of Education, how are they going to get education? I go like, I don't know, man. I've talked to most adults you talk to. You go, where'd you learn more from? All of public schooling or YouTube while you're eating breakfast?
Yeah.
And then I had the realization too, where I was like, I go like, okay, what do they really need from public school? And it's like, yeah, you got to make sure they can read and do math but then you start to yeah, you heard reading and went, all right, let's chill.
Well, yeah, hold on. let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. But
but then you look at like life skills and stuff like that. And you
Yeah.
go like what do you get from public school? All fucking 12, 13 plus years of public school that really helps you in life. And I go like, man, I got to tell you, if you followed around an old Italian man that worked at if you apprenticed at a pizzeria with an old Italian man, it would go toe to toe with public school. I got to tell you, for being prepared for life. And I mean that unironically.
Yeah, I think for sure, there is if we held accountable politicians, senators, governors, anything, and public figures in government, the same way we held like teachers responsible, or we actually we treated them the same way we treat teachers, where like they go like, oh, your school's not doing really good. Well, we're not going to fund that one that much. You get less. We're going to grade you an F and you get less money. And then, oh, your school's doing way better. Well, we're going to continue to give you a lot of money because you're doing great.
The core
I remember in school hearing that because they started the grade system when I was in school. And I go, so if you're in a bad school, you're just going to stay bad. They're not going to put more attention or resources into the bad school to try to make it better. They're going to go, and I go, like, I guess that's right, but it's also like, it doesn't make any sense because it doesn't make any progress or anything like that.
Yeah.
And also if you just did that to government officials where you're like, oh yeah, you're like, let's say Minnesota. Let's just go Minneapolis, Minnesota, anywhere. And all the people, the representatives in that state, we're going to hold your paychecks, or we're going to stop giving you supplies for your offices. Like, that's crazy shit that teachers have to do where they're like, oh, you want them to write on paper? Well, who's going to buy that paper? And they go, you. And they go, you want to write on that board with a fucking marker? Oh, that's great. You want green and red? Okay. Rockefeller. Okay. I'm not going to give you markers for the fucking dry erase board. So they have to buy all of their own supplies. So why not we just go, you government officials, you don't have your fucking government issued vehicle. You got to ride your own shit around. You got to buy your own gas.
Yeah.
You got to buy your own supplies. You got to buy your own everything. There is no deductions for you. If you want to get shit, you got to go on fucking TikTok or fucking Instagram like goddamn teachers do, and you got to beg for it. You got to go, hey guys, if you want to support a teacher, can you just hit my Amazon list and just, I made a shopping list of all the things I need. I need this. I need this thing to kill a international spy, and then I also need. It's just the CIA director doesn't have the capability to do a coup.
No, but you're tapping into. That's the thing. But no, you're tapping into a beautiful thing of like what's wrong with how the government functions and versus how like we function. Where it's like if the government wants to do a thing. They don't have to consult you about it. They don't have to consult anyone about it.
We're not held to the same standard. It's not the same standard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, teachers, this is how you get treated. But they're like, well, if I fuck up, it's like, well, I mean, there's things out of my control, and there's people coming into our schools and shooting us. It's a thing where you're like, you get security, brother. Like, you have like Secret Service and shit like that. You have metal detectors at your shit. Like, so I just think if we just treated them, senators at least, just senators, like teachers, to where like you can't just sit around and go like, oh, I'm not going to vote. Oh, I guess I'll vote this way. I'm going to go campaign. I'm going to go do this. Like, no, you got a job to do, dickhead. And if you don't get results, you will be held accountable, and you will get less funding and less funding and less funding until your fucking office is squalor, you shithead.
Yeah, but then the problem is you're basically telling, you're telling Tony Soprano to punish fucking Paulie Walnuts because the guy at the corner store is mad about it.
Yeah, they're all their hands are in the same pocket. It's
and I just wish more people, because again, like, and someone was saying, they go, I don't think I don't think they want us to French Revolution. They don't want us to full-blown French Revolution, but they want to get they want us to get violent
there, yeah.
Because that's the thing, like that's where actually being level-headed and reasonable gets you somewhere. Because I was listening to fucking Metzger talking about this, and he made an interesting point where he's like, there still is, like, obviously, like the way Trump's going about things, it has this sense of like it doesn't really matter what you guys think, because it doesn't matter what we think. But they have to, there is always a degree of like trying to trick you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people, like there always is a degree of like trying to trick you. So, and I'm not saying this is easy. Obviously, it's clearly been the hardest thing ever in all of human history. But there is a sense of like, well, if you just know what the fuck it is, that's why I always think I like talking about this stuff this way, just being like, no. It's not, it's not a democracy. It's not a government of the people, by the people, for the people. It's, you're getting tricked into voting for dictators and shit like that. And if more people were just like aware of what it actually is, there would be some sort of way to function better within this system. That's the part that makes me more conspiratorial with it. It almost makes me very curious about the bigger picture of things, because you do look at it and you're like, why do you guys still care to like try, even if it's lazy and it's not well done? Why do you guys still try to trick us? Because I think you saw it during COVID, like when COVID happened, and and then especially when because when COVID first happened, a lot of people were on board to like stay inside and 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and then you start learning more shit where there was people who were like, I don't like what's going on, but if this is what we got to do, and then you just slowly start learning how much of it's bullshit and stuff like that. And even with the slow drip of all the information of what was and wasn't bullshit and this and that, you still have people sitting there going like, hey, whoever needs me to be a good Nazi soldier, I'll be right here, dude. You need me to snitch people out to the secret police? You need me to fucking do any of that? Like, you'll always have that pocket of people who are like, I just, whatever you need me to do, boss man, whatever you need me to do, I'll sell my fucking family out, dude. I'll do any of that shit. They're all, and it's like, I think when you have, like, that's the hardest part to me. That's the hardest part to me, is like that chunk of people exist. And yeah, it's like whenever you try to get shit done, you're always going to have this like group of people who are just like trying to get in the way. And it's just like, fuck you. Why are you even trying? Fuck you. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, it's so funny when people don't realize they don't see like kind of what the thing. I noticed this. There's a chain of stores that are talking about possibly unionizing. I don't want to say what kind or what store.
Yeah.
And it's fucking crazy because like I get why unions started. Unions were very important for the people, for humans, like against like corporations working them to the bone and having unrealistic things.
You're not going to have a union start if you don't have people abusing people. Right. Like there's a reason people want to start a union.
Like the union, just like every other thing, has the right idea and has the right meaning to it.
Yeah.
Like has the
and
right
then they get big and they make 1 billion mafia movies about how they're fucking
They become just as corrupt. And they become
I'm not even
and they also victimize the fucking worker. And like that's why I'm like I hate the fact that like you think that you're so justified because they go like defund the police, and then like ICE comes in and you're like, that's what defunded police look like. Like those are untrained people with weapons and power.
Yeah,
like that's what happens. Like when you say defund the police, you're not saying we want no police. We don't want nothing like that. Because what you want is underqualified dumbasses with weapons and fucking power and influence. And now you fucking got them.
Yeah.
So like it's like a thing where now either you have a town that has less police to actually fight the ICE intrusion, or ICE is the perfect representation of what defunded police look like. So,
Yeah.
or then you go like to the other side where you're like, they go like, well, we want, you can't control us, you can't tell us what to do, all this other stuff for COVID. And you're like, but like worst case scenario, I think they just kind of maybe they want to ruin our country, they want to ruin the infrastructure. Like, yes, I remember being very skeptical about the COVID thing happening at the beginning because I'm like, wait, aren't like vaccines supposed to be tested? Aren't you supposed to do this long before all these fucking hacks jumped in with all this shit? But it was also like one of those things of like where I'm like, okay, I guess it's one of those things where I'm like, what am I gonna do? I don't know what I can do. Like, what are
Yeah.
we?
Did
None of
you
us
see that
know
thing?
otherwise, so we can't really do anything. But then it's also like when you realize who's going to become compliant, who's going to become complacent, and who's actually just going to listen and just do whatever. But like when you're just shouting for shit like we need a union, we need to defund the police, we need like all these things of like. I get the spirit of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But like honestly, you have to understand that like when you get what you ask for, it can be very, very bad sometimes.
Well, it's
So,
like there's this human mindset where there's like a certain type of person who like
you got a
I've
Triple
heard.
G. I hear you, Triple G. I'll keep that in mind. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, no, I was telling them, I was like, we definitely Friday was very fun and we got to do more UFC talk.
Yeah.
But I want to stay on this because, well, first thing with the union stuff is I'm not anti-union, but people, like I was making the joke before, I go like, yeah, every mob movie they have a part where they're like stealing money from someone's union and
Yeah.
all this and that, and like, and then you see, dude, I remember it was happening like a year or two ago when they had the union. It was like the dock workers union or something in New Jersey. The guy who was getting indicted or something for mob ties was literally like on the news sounding like a mob boss, where he's like, oh, you don't give us this $6 raise that no one else fucking gets ever in any real job. And then everyone's just gonna go like, well, that's why you should have a union. But no, he's like, this $6 raise we decided we deserve, we're gonna hold up all of the country's goods from going anywhere. And then all these because we're not getting a fair shake, we'll keep all of these other businesses from making billions of dollars a day. And I go like, hey man, do you not see how you're also doing evil stuff? Like that's my whole thing with unions is like, it's not that I completely understand the impulse, but like they always get to a point where I'm like, they're just a new version of evil, as like the business owner is. And then, brother, I've never worked in a union. I don't know if you've ever worked in a union, but every time I've talked to people who've worked in unions, they are like, brother, it's impossible to fire them, and it makes everyone so fucking lazy. Yeah. It genuinely, like union workers fucking have the propensity to suck ass, and I've heard many stories about that.
Yeah, so like it's when you actually see the implementation. What the fuck?
Implementation,
whatever. Yeah, of whatever that shit is. Then you're just like unions are just corporations that are masked as like with the company's best interest in mind. Like they're like essentially how like Target treats, says they treat people, where they're just like, we care about everybody, we love you, blah blah. And it's just like, no, Amazon fucks people over, everything. It's just it's acting like it's crazy because unions are essentially just another arm of a corporation. It's just another corporation. It's like the hippies corporation. Like a co-op or any of that shit where you
like they end up functioning
shop at a fucking place and you're just like, oh, it's cool because we all own this and we all work here, but we don't actually get paid. And it's just like you're like, what are you talking? Just get a job, you fucking idiot. If you get a job, you have a number, and then you get a number of hours you work, and then you time that number by this, and then you can estimate tax. Like you can get your fucking life together, hippie. You dumb asshole.
Yeah. I was reading one of.
Hold on. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna turn the heat up. I'll be right back.
Okay. No, I was reading one of Derek's comments. This was funny to me, and that's the other thing too, where it's like I was in the union, I got nothing out of it, and then I found out they were donating to Hillary Clinton. There is something too in the fact that it's like thinking about my union donating to a presidential candidate. I don't know, man. It's just it goes back to again like the government just having way too much fucking power with all this other shit. They just have like way too much fucking power. And it's why like people make the joke, most dope, how you doing, brother? People make the joke how what am I trying to say? People make the joke that oh, every 4 years it's the most important election of our lifetime, and it's like, brother, it kind of can be if you think about it, you know what I mean? With the sheer fact of I know it's sort of like an overused phrase that a lot of people do, but it's like I don't know, man, when you have a government that like, dude, I think I heard a number where it's like our government printed 30% of the money that they've ever printed in the history of the US government in the past couple of years. It was like something like that. It was like all the money we've printed in the past couple of years is more than 30 whatever. You guys get what I'm saying. And then it's like the it's like the money we owe versus money that the government takes it like the government takes in so much money, like so many trillions in taxes every year, which is, more money than any government has taken in taxes in all of human history. And we're still not bringing in money to cover the debt. You know what I mean? Like that's still like they take multiple trillions from us every year and we're still in the red. Yeah. What was the original fucking point? Why was I making this original point? Oh yeah, and it's just that's right. It's because dude, like our government's the biggest thing in the fucking world, man. And it does give credence to the fact that it's like, oh, this election is so important. It's like, yeah, because you're given fucking every election, one dude or woman or person of color is getting fucking Thanos's glove with all the goddamn emeralds or whatever the fuck it is in it, dude. Like you're getting that every 4 years. And it's like, you have a bunch of people being like, well, how's Israel going to get healthcare and bomb children if we don't get control of that government and things like that? You know what I mean? So
it's essentially the same. My toll road talk of essentially like we pay taxes, we pay this, we do this, whatever. Even if it's minimum, people work really hard to make sure that they don't pay taxes or whatever it is. But like you said, it goes up and it goes up and it goes up and it goes up, and things just keep getting fucking worse. They are not getting like it's not like exponentially worse over and over like really quickly, but they have gotten worse over time. Things are less maintained. People are less represented. So, like, what do you see the group tech?
Yeah. Oh no, I was just gonna. I was sorry. I was like about to text back, and then I'm like, oh hey, you're podcasting, dumbass.
Yeah. Look, legitimately, you grew up. Never mind. All right. So was mine. It's Texas. But yeah. Sorry. Just group chat shit. So it's icy conditions out here, guys. Be careful when you're driving. But like it's the same idea of like you keep raising the cost of living, the cost of being here, the cost of like of your salary. You guys are getting more money. You guys are living very comfortably and all this other shit. It's just there's a lot of like crazy questions that we have in this country that like truly the people that we elect to serve the people do absolutely not have the fucking people's best interests in mind. It is truly their own, and that's one thing. But like again, that's people live that way. That's fine, but you're not supposed to elect people into office that also treat like their people that way. I don't like shitty customer service, and that's essentially what we're getting like every single day. When it's like this outside, and we're from the north, and it's not this whole entitlement thing. It's the thing of like, this has been figured out. It's 2026.
Yeah.
This can cripple your fucking city. It should shut shit down when shit's storming, everybody get inside because it's bad. But once the shit has settled, then you work on clearing it up.
Well, this is why private businesses get the dub over the government. And I want to make it clear, like, Because a lot of times too, when people like me, like almost defend businesses and they think you're like, yeah, there's that meme where it's always about like, don't say anything bad about the billionaire. And it's not that I don't fucking distrust and hate billionaires a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't hate you just because you're rich, but when you're a billionaire in America, I go like, what'd you do to get that? You know what I mean? Like sometimes you get Rogans, but a lot of times you get all the other ones. But either way, my whole thing is like, well, no, the like the business owners want to do all this evil shit, but they have the limitations of the market, of the people buying the shit. That is a natural limitation. So that's why the problem is when you have a government that has like pretend legitimacy to it, you get these businesses in foreign countries to lobby the government and get them to create an unfair advantage for you and your business that no one else can have because they don't have enough money. My whole thing is like, you get the fucking government away, they're not giving this unfair advantage. But either way, like there's a difference when, like in my neighborhood, when there's a road that has potholes and is really bumpy and shitty, and if you drive the speed limit, your car might get fucked up. There's a reason that when that happens, the government puts up a sign that says, hey, this road kind of fucking sucks ass. Yeah. And then there's a reason when, but then if you look at Domino's is the best example. Domino's is the best example. Like, dude, they had that bad PR where it was like Cletus and Meemaw working at the local Domino's were like, this is what we do, and they're putting boogers in the food and stuff like that. Domino's completely overhauled their whole thing because they're not like, you know, they're not like a bank where they completely fraud the country and give themselves bonuses and the government still bails them out. Domino's has to worry about their fucking selves. Yeah. So they completely overhauled. And ever since then, Domino's has been killing it. Dude, they're, you know who will fucking fix the roads is fucking Domino's. They were literally filling potholes. And that's why businesses who don't get that, like, they don't get that unfair safety net of the government thrive way better than anyone else. That's why you have, that's why you go to the fucking DMV and you're like, why is everyone mad at me? And shit like that. Domino's is the best example of a phrase never before uttered. Well, hey man, you got to pave the way. Let's this is enough complaining about the government. Let's talk about UFC, Pat. I did not watch it, so I need the full scoop. How were things?
The main thing that I think Triple G was talking about was there is a fighter. I think you put it in the chat. The guy's name. I'm not super familiar with him. I think he was on the undercard. Hold on, just bring up the UFC fighter that passed out. Okay, I think they didn't bring it up really on the broadcast. Obviously, they're not going to. They don't want to actually bring that, but I have a clip that I actually wanted to share of it. Hold on.
Is it the guy passing out?
Yeah, but no. The angle that I have here is actually one of the best angles that I've seen.
Okay.
Hold on. Of course. Yeah, I just turned my phone all the way down, and then it played the sound anyway. Love.
You sending it to me?
Love technology. Yeah, it's on Insta.
Copy that.
But and it should say actually. Hold on. Actually, it should say in that post what the guy's name was. Hold on. It says I have fighter. Of course, it doesn't say. But it was a fighter that was going up for the weight cut. Oh yeah, here we go. I'll just let this play. This is actually really funny.
Never have any sympathy for these guys. You got one job: show up on weight, in shape. That's it.
It's part of the contract, isn't it? You've signed on the dotted line. You've got to go and get a job.
You're a professional fighter. It's not hard, is it? You have months. Oh.
I love Bisbing too.
Yeah,
Bisbing's such like a fucking normal dude at all times. Cam
Smotherman.
He's like, you just gotta show up. Wait, I can't do the voice. Hello.
You
gotta show up. You gotta be in shape. You gotta not pass out. You gotta walk with your left foot, then your right foot, and not die in front of the camera.
He said, "Oops, I forgot to say, put your hands out when you fall."
Oops.
Because the dude.
Also, I forgot to say, drink a little bit of water.
So
Uh,
it happy ending, not just jerking off wise, but as far as like best case scenario for the guy, because he definitely passed out. Obviously, it was
are we sure?
it was not weight cut related. This was so now I don't know if this is just something because the Paramount card they had one fight canceled the day of because of the betting line changing so crazy. It was Alexander Hernandez versus Michael Johnson was supposed to be a fight. That was going to be a banger fight too, by the way.
Wait,
And
they canceled it because of the betting line?
the betting line changed drastically like the morning of the fight, and they were suspicious that something happened. They got a call from the gaming commission and were like, "Hey,
Oh.
there's some weird activity happening." And they were like, "We're not chancing it. We're just going." There was suspicion that Hernandez might have been injured, and somebody got wind of it and let it leak to somebody, and everybody started betting that way.
Oh,
So-
okay.
So essentially, they were going to still have the fight. There probably was there was no dirt foul play necessarily, but most likely that's what was being reported. Again, first Paramount card, they don't want any bullshit. They already had the Kayla Harrison Amanda Nunes fight dropped out because Kayla Harrison had to have emergency neck surgery. So like the card is still a banger, but there's all these other news stories that are happening. Justin Gaethje bitching about pay, then not checking his email, all this other shit. So this
And then not
happens.
knowing his password.
Yeah, and just going like, oh, and then somebody going like, hey, you were bringing up pay earlier, and he's like, I'm here to talk about fighting.
He just calls his mom up and he's like, "Mom, what was my first dog's name? I can't figure out this security question."
Mom, what's your maiden name? Also, Mom, what's a maiden name? So it was this guy Cam Smotherman didn't look crazy like that's the thing is that's why I do kind of believe what he said. He ended up getting some stitches on his chin. He didn't lose any of his teeth or anything like that. Just had that. Other than that, he's fine, cleared medically. Wasn't able to fight, obviously, because of the sutures and stuff like that. And he said that he doesn't know what happened. The doctors say they don't know what happened. They were doing tests. What I think happened was, I think it's kind of happens at weddings a lot, and it's like where people are, or I think military people would experience it every once in a while when they line up to like stand up straight. They lock their knees, and if you lock both of your knees for too long, I think I might have given you this advice for your wedding because it was something I heard. Was like if you're standing there for a long period of time and you're keeping your knees locked to try to keep your posture up and stuff, you lose circulation and you could pass out. So most likely he was. I don't know how many fights this is for him in the UFC, but he could have been just a little nervous. First Paramount card, lots of press, lots of shit going on. Goes up to weigh in. He's standing there. I think he locked his knees the whole time when he was standing there just to try to keep from shaking, probably. And again, this is purely my speculation. I think that's what happened. I think he was just standing there, did that, went to step off, but by that time it was too late and he was already out.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I don't think it was a. He said he didn't. He's like I don't. He's like it's. I don't believe it's weight cut connected or whatever.
Yeah, it's correlated. Because that's what everyone. That's what
He's like,
everyone
I didn't
thinks.
cut that much.
Yeah, that's
So-
what everyone thinks from the jump.
and
Because
that's
like
what it looks
sometimes,
like, obviously.
well, sometimes the like I've heard many. We've all known a wrestler, or you've just heard the interviews with actual UFC fighters. But it's like the weight cutting stuff is crazy. But he didn't. He said he didn't actually like cut that much weight.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't cut that much weight, he said. And like I trust fighters when they say that stuff, when they're like he's like I don't cut. He's like not even saying like I didn't even cut as much as I normally do. He's like I really didn't cut barely any weight. So like I don't understand. So I don't, nobody knows. And that's what's kind of weird about it. Obviously it's just I think that's why sometimes the easiest explanation is the best.
Mm-hmm.
Explanation is the easiest or whatever. Is just that essentially is.
Yeah.
I think he's just standing at the getting weighed enough time. I don't know if that's enough time to do that, but also if he's already if he has cut any weight, if he is at all dehydrated, and he does that, it could just maybe exacerbate it. Could have been a
Yeah.
dehydrated thing, even if he don't cut or lose weight. Yeah, yeah. If he's like just that, like just nerves mixed with being dehydrated, empty stomach, yada yada yada, all this other shit.
So this is actually a good comment from Wiggerly. Derek Lewis. I saw this clip.
Yeah.
So basically, if you guys haven't seen it, I can try to pull it up. From the untrained eye, a lot of people were saying that Derek Lewis in his last fight, there's a point where he kind of slips, and which is kind of ironic because it's kind of ironic because we were talking about there's all those compilations of like jiu-jitsu isn't real, just stand up.
Yeah.
And you're watching this clip and you're like, Derek, stand up. And
Yeah.
he just does not. Okay, here.
It kind of looks to me. It kind of looked like he might have popped. It looked like he might have popped a quad or something. Like his leg. It looks like he grips his thigh, but also he does get clipped. Like that. Like he kind of reached down. But obviously
Yeah.
he doesn't want to let him know that he's injured. But also,
And then that clip didn't show everything. Doesn't the guy then proceed to win after that moment, or did the round? Okay, yeah. So what's from the untrained eye that just looks like Derek Lewis gave up, but then I go like, but also it's Derek Lewis. Like that just from what I know, I go like that doesn't like even if Derek Lewis was like completely like what he's just gassed, so he's just gonna fucking But what do you think on that one?
That to me, so like when he's that was I think the second round, and he was also making Derek miss a lot. So like he was lunging in at him a lot and trying to hit him with a power shot, trying to clip him just in general as much as he could, but Costa was doing a good job of evading him. So I think there was a level of fatigue, but also he was also getting clipped a little bit. He did get clipped there. I personally feel like he might have hurt his leg. Like he did get clipped, he get knocked down, but also fell.
Mm-hmm.
But looks like right as he right before he falls, looks like his right hand is reaching for his thigh. So I'm thinking there could have possibly been something that happened, and then he went to essentially turtle position and got just punched. He was going there to recover, to try to, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I whether it be to try to get back up, maybe he figured I'll get my base, try to get back up on my feet, but maybe had a lot of pain in his leg and knew he wouldn't get back up, and at the same time was getting punched the fuck in the face. So
that's a really good point. No, that's a good point where it's like if you know your leg's fucked, if I try to get up, one, I'm probably not going to be able to stand very well, and two, this guy who's already been pummeling me is just going to have easier shots at pummeling me.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's not a situation of I think he just did the math and essentially he's not going to tap. He's not going to give up, so he kind of has to go out on his sword. Shit, I'm not going to win this one. Fuck. God damn it. Kind of thing of ow,
yeah,
ow, and then the ref calls it. Once there's so many unanswered shots, they're supposed to if he's not advancing a position or showing any kind of good posture or anything like that, he needs to stop the fight.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense because it does.
He doesn't give up, and he's not. If it ever looks like he's giving up, it's because I think he's accepting that he can't win, and he's just kind of. It's accepting the defeat, but I don't think he's necessarily giving up. Does that make sense? He's not
100%.
He's literally not giving. In the sport, everybody just a heads up. You give up. You can't. There's a whole option. There's a whole area for you to give up.
Yeah.
You can go. I quit. Submit. You can say the verbal tap is literally. You can say tap. You can tap. There's so many different ways. If you scream audibly in pain, loud enough and convincing enough, the ref can make the decision to call that a verbal tap.
Yeah.
So there's so many ways that he could have given up. He didn't give up. I think he got injured and realized defeat was inevitable and tried to mitigate the damage. Essentially, he knew he couldn't get back up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the thing where it's if his leg just doesn't fucking work, you're gonna have that moment where you're like, oh shit, I just I literally can't do anything.
But I don't want to take anything away from Costa. Like Costa did a great. It was. I tried to explain it to Dom. I said it's because I kind of like after the first round I was like I don't know if I want to watch this because I'm just like it just sucks because it's like it's just it happened with Anderson Silva against Uriah Hall. It was kind of like one of those things of like when somebody is such a big fan of a fighter that they have effectively come up with the perfect game plan to defeat them. It's like a thing where it's not and it's not usually exciting because like you're not going to the likelihood that you're going to be able to bang with Derek Lewis and survive is very unlikely. And even in his because the last thing to go for every UFC fighter is the power. Power is the last thing to go. So like timing, endurance, all this other shit is the things that he exposed with Derek Lewis to defeat him. So essentially when he's evading all of his punches and making him chase him a bunch, he's draining his gas tank, got him out of the first round where he's the most dangerous. He's not undangerous in the other rounds, but he's a little bit more predictable and a little bit more. That's when he's going to get into some of the tricks. He feigns injuries a lot. So he acts like he's hurt. So somebody comes over to try to finish him off and he fucking flatlines him. So like there's been plenty of time. He's a tricky veteran fighter, but he's also like, I think he's an old school guy that's not necessarily going to be like, ow, my leg hurt. Ow, ow, stop. He's just going to go, fuck, God damn it.
Well, that's the irony when he's actually hurt. He's going to go like, all right, I'm going to go out in the least bitch way possible.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah. And honestly, that was like,
yeah.
It looks like everybody's like, oh, he just laid there, like, or he just kind of whatever. Like, he didn't give up, man. I don't think he wanted that.
Well, people do this thing where they just go like, all right, I'm going to forget everything I know about this guy. And they go like, well, he clearly just sat down and gave up. And you're like, no. Or you could just remember Derek Lewis his whole career and go like, oh yeah, that's why what you were saying, the like hurting your leg thing makes more sense than just like, oh, he just goes like, man, I don't want it anymore. Yeah. You're like, you also got to think of it as an employee of the UFC. Yeah. Like obviously Derek Lewis has a little more, he's got a little more stock in the company than other fighters. But at the same time, if Dana White sees you in like middle of the fight go like, I don't want to fight anymore and sit down, and it's like, it's not going to look good on you. I'm sure Derek Lewis has a few more fights left in him.
Yeah, it's one of those things that he's been firmly at a gatekeeper position for kind of a while, and I thought kind of came to terms with not having goal or title implication or aspirations or whatever. But he was saying like during this fight or on the build up for this fight, like, yeah, I'm looking for a title, but he also just says stuff. That's my favorite thing is that he doesn't put too much investment into like, they're like, what's next for Derek? And he's just like, I don't know. I'm going to go home, go to sleep or something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. He's like, he can be very literal sometimes, but then also like, I don't know how much of it. I don't know how likely he thinks he's like, I mean, he could. There's no reason why he shouldn't be able to fight Aspinall or whatever. They gave him a title shot against DC when he was the heavyweight champion. Like,
do you think when he's just in normal conversations, he's still constantly being like, oh, I'm gonna go home and suck my wife's titties? Like when?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. Is like that's the best thing about him, and that's what I was saying about in the last episode about like that's why I hate to criticize Justin Gaethje because only real men know that Justin Gaethje's the best. Apparently, but remember that meme I sent you of like real men don't talk shit about Justin Gaethje or something like that, and I was just like, I wasn't.
Oh yeah, you were like, ooh,
but it was just like a thing where I'm like, I love Justin Gaethje usually because he's just like a guy who doesn't, and even Dana White is another one where like these are guys that are, if you ask them a question on a press conference in front of millions of people, or you ask them in the airport or whatever, he's going to give you the exact same answer. Yeah, and that's what I loved about them.
Well, that's the thing that's so sick about them is they're like real dudes because everyone will just because everyone's been trained to hyper focus on the bad things about people, and it's like, yeah, every single UFC fighter, I go, there's a long list of why they rule, and there's also usually whether it's long or short, there's a list of like, that sucks ass, you know, like all of them have it, you know, because like that's the thing about. It's the thing about being a guy that can kill most other guys in any situation. You're not as self-conscious, so you're going to be way more yourself. So your faults are going to be way more on display.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's
So it's like you could still fuck. I don't know what the point I was trying to make. You could still fuck with a dude that you're like, yeah. It's like you don't hate Gustin JG, whatever his name is, Justin Gaethje.
Gusty Gay jeans.
You love Gustin, right?
You like Gusty Gay jeans, right? It was really funny though. I will say, as far as the main event goes, that was the thing. I'll say my biggest critiques, my mainest.
Your mainest critique.
Oh, that was a big fart.
Is proud of you.
Whoever the broad they put on. Oh no, is her name Kate Smith? Is that I think that's some. I feel like Nate's brought her up before. If she's a British broad, if she's like known or something like that, for some reason, she was on the commentary team, like the like kind of the back in the studio guys, the guys that are up. It's like Anthony Smith, Michael Bisping, and Dominic
Is Kate
Cruz.
Smith a former fighter?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because
If
the
she
only
is, then she is awful.
sorry,
at
the
commentating.
it's the only dude. So I typed Kate Smith, and this lady came up, and then I typed
British?
Kate. No, here, wait. I typed
sorry,
Kate Smith UFC, and she still popped up. It's not this lady, Pat, is it?
No, it's not her.
That's not her.
No.
All right. Well, then I don't know if is she AI?
Maybe I might have got it. I don't know. It was whoever the lady was on the booth. I've never seen her before. I don't know if she's somebody that like a Paramount hire.
What was the card number? 240.
324.
Oh, 324.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she was like, so she had, she would go
Kate
like
Scott.
Kate Scott. I don't know who that is, and she was terrible. I'm not even saying like, as far as like, she's not a fan of MMA, which is you cannot be the most skilled at talking about game plans, footwork, all this other bullshit. But like, you're literally there as the professional broadcaster that's supposed to go to these fighters and go, "Oi, mate, Michael Bisping, what are the keys to success for Paddy Pimblett tonight?" Right. And then he'll go and he'll say something. He goes like, I think the footwork is really important, and I really just feel like Patty the Batty really has a chance to win the title tonight. And goes back to her, and she goes, "All right." I'm not exaggerating, Annie. She does one of these. She goes, "Okay," and there's also going to be other. And
Is she related to Nate?
It's brother. It is crazy. It was. She did not have any, like, it would go like, then she'd say like, "Okay, and then the co-main, we got Sean O'Malley against Song Yadong. Dominic Cruz, you were saying that you think that there's a very specific way that Song Yadong could find success tonight." And he just goes, "Yeah, Kate, so," and then she'd lead into it perfectly. And it was like, I'm like, bro, you got to be Byron Allen. That's all you got to do. So,
yeah.
Justin, you had some thoughts about the fight tonight. Boom. Oh, that's great. Anyway, we'll be right back. That's you. You're just there to go.
Yeah.
Ba-doom.
Was she trying to?
There's no personality. There's no pain. There's no like candor or anything. There's no. Every question or thing that they gave, the guys would go, "Thanks," and they'd give great insight, and they'd go to a video package, and they'd do something else, and then they'd finish their sentence, and then she'd just go,
That's crazy.
Like she didn't believe them. Or something like they didn't convince her, and she was just like, "Huh, I guess so." Anyway, and it's
so was she giving? Let me ask you this: was she giving her takes on the fight? Like, was she trying?
She was awful. That's what I'm saying. I was like, you're not even a fan of the sport. And brother, I'm sorry to do this to you, but I'm exposing another one. Travis Barker needs to just not talk about it. If he is a huge MMA fan, he needs to stop talking about it because he sounds like he's not.
Well, dude,
he goes, I'm not exaggerating, brother. He had a fucking paper in front of him. She goes like, "So what fights are you excited about tonight, Travis?" And he's like, "I just, or she goes, "So who are some of your favorite fighters in MMA?" And he goes, I love, there's just so many." And he goes, I love Jones. Jones is great." And you're just like, John Jones? There's multiple Jones.
That is funny because it's like, if I'm giving it benefit of the doubt, I wonder if they were like, Well,
He's
no,
not good on camera. That's what I'm saying. Is he may be a fan, but they started going like, what are some of the fights that get you really excited tonight? And he goes, oh, I mean, like the whole card's stacked. And then he go like, well, like what are some of your favorites? And he goes, and I'm not shitting you, dude. He's sitting at the desk and he's going like this. Well, like just like Gaethje's, obviously you can't like just Gaethje's great, but also like Patty's great. And he's like, and Sugar Show, obviously Sugar Sean O'Malley. O'Malley's great, and he's like looking
Dude,
down at a paper. Like you're looking
they
at the
need to
fights that are
learn.
happening.
They need
Why
to
don't I
learn.
get tickets?
They need to.
I really want tickets. They don't deserve them.
They
The
need to-
Kardashian he had there.
They need to take a page from WWE's playbook, because WWE, they only bring people who know wrestling or are just excited to be there. Like if you get them,
Yeah.
if WWE gets people involved in the thing,
Yeah.
it's like they'll do a lot of like, there's a famous guy, he's not going to say anything, he's just going to wave, and we're going to go to the next one. But like if they're involved in the on-screen shit, it's either someone who knows wrestling or is genuinely excited to be there.
Like,
Travis Barker's probably getting paid to be there.
I bet that he does really enjoy being seen there, and I think he's and also, by the way, another production thing, and I'm not saying this against Blink-182 or you or any fans, but they had Blink-182 music. I'm not joking you. Multiple times, their music going in and out of commercials or going in and out of packages, or the fucking song for the promo package, the opening promo was All the Small Things.
Well, that's the hit, Pat.
But that's not what UFC is. It's
the
not
number
a small
one
thing. It's a big thing. Remember Gladiators? The fucking arena? Fist fights? It's not.
the best. All the small. Oh, you think this is a small thing right now, UFC?
You're talking
It's
about how big the night is, and the song they used for the promo package is All the Small Things. Oh, bad production.
They thought you wouldn't even fucking notice. They thought you wouldn't even notice.
And then they go, oh, now we're going to talk about the next promo package that they had, because they had 4 fucking intros for this goddamn thing. The next one was Rock Show. They used the song Rock Show.
What? It's not a what?
It's not a rock show. It's a fight.
It's on par with a bit.
It's a cage
now,
fight.
Okay, now you're being autistic. It's
Brother,
on par with a
Sepultura.
big.
You had it. That's UFC. That's all you need. You need a little bit of butt rock. You started moving just now, didn't you?
Can I? What?
You like that song, don't you?
No, I just there's an earthquake over here. Stop, dude. Don't sing it again. Oh fuck, dude.
That's
Okay. How about this though? No. Punch. Lockdown.
That's what I'm saying, brother. It's like it's a
Leg
thing.
kick.
I can't believe they're just like fell in love with a girl at the rock show.
Dude, I was like, please tell me they played "I Miss You" going into one of the
That
fights.
was the only thing, like that was the only thing missing. And the commercials they were saying, I was like, well, if they're saying it's free. Well,
Fell in love at the cage fight.
It was just not. It didn't fit. Whoever they had running the
Well, they set a high bar with playing
Sepultura.
No, they play corn all the time, going in between breaks and shit.
You brother, you had it with new metal. It's the new metal is part of the UFC.
Yeah.
You can have like new metal or new butt rock or something like that. That's fine, but the genre's established. It's not.
Be funny if they just start playing like shoegaze at UFC.
And then the other
It's like Justin Gaethje and Patty the Batty.
Speaking of music choices, by the way, Justin Gaethje's walkout song was a Garth Brooks song with a retard in the video. It was like some story, like it was one of the, like where they used to make like mini movies for the music video. I did not know the song offhand or whatever, but it was his entrance song was this where Dom knew it right away. and showed me the music video where this little retarded boy wants to join the track team, but they can't let him because it's all this thing. I was standing outside the fire. That's what it was. Standing outside the fire. That's the song he came out to, and I go, Justin, why is he coming out to the retarded guy song? Where the retarded guy did it and made everybody proud.
It's just a song. It's just a song about like it's sometimes people forget to check their emails. Dana, don't be
I'm
a
really
jerk.
sorry about the pay thing. I'm here to fight.
No matter how retarded I am, I will overcome. I'm Justin Gaethje.
But speaking of walkouts, so like the commercials in between, they kind of bugged me because they took out the walkouts. For the prelims, I understand, but also for the main card, they had most of the walkouts were not shown except for the co-main and the main. They only showed Sugar Show, what's his face, Sugar Sean O'Malley, Song Yudong, Justin Gaethje, and Paddy Pimblett. Those are the only walkouts they showed. That bugs me. I don't like that. But other than that, really, Paramount, aside from that fucking dumb bitch on the fucking booth that was just not convinced with anyone's answers.
Yeah.
And then the overall, the song choice, the number of intros they did. They had Bruce Buffer introduce The Night. And I was like, he's never done that. He doesn't do that. He doesn't go out and go, this is the beginning of the Paramount era, 324. And then they went back to another fucking pre-roll. And then, then when he comes out for the first fight, it's not as special anymore because he goes, hey, I'm back, everybody, but now I'm here to do the job I was hired for.
Yeah, not saying it doesn't suck ass, but I get why they do that stuff. They try to WWE does that. They did that on the first episode on Netflix where it's like, yeah, dude, it's just Raw. Like, let's just do Raw. But they try to do the monumental thing. They try to, they're doing that to be like, oh, streaming can be good sometimes, guys.
Imagine if they changed Raw's intro song to Tonight's the night and I'm gonna be with you over again. I don't know.
Yeah. No, they wrestling smart. They stay with new metal and they stay with
butt rock.
Like
butt rock new metal. That's it.
And whatever the butt rock equivalent of rap is, they do that as well.
Well, that's new metal. Like that's where
no, but just rap. No, I'm not saying it's got the rock influence. But whatever I don't know what the term for rap, like the rap equivalent of butt rock is. Butt rap. That's a lot. I mean, have you seen the videos? A lot of rap. I saw a funny thing. This kind of shit too is what I like about Dana White, where like I guess people were complaining that there was too many belches. There's too many commercials or something like that. And I saw a clip of Dana White being like, brother, it's $8.99. They got to make up the money somehow or something like that. Which I was like, I kind of respect that. I do think they're gonna, but I'd love to learn the actual like business negotiation because it is like I am fascinated with the financials of it because they go from now we have a fuck ton, like they go from a bunch of people paying $70 a fight to a bunch of people who already have the app just streaming it. I mean, the numbers are probably like the numbers on this one versus the last one are probably through the roof, but how the financial breakdown is probably very interesting. And it's like, that will be a bit of a bummer. It'll probably kind of suck a little where it's like, you are probably going to see a lot more commercial breaks on these fights.
Yeah. I also, there was one guy, there's a couple people, I think somebody brought it up earlier. There is a couple of things that like, I don't want to sound like a boomer or like I'm a fan of traditional cage fighting.
Yeah.
Like of like straight up of like, whether it be Vale Tudo, whether it be Pride, whether it be whatever type you want, bare knuckle, fucking karate combat. I love combat sports. Love it. There's kind of a weird thing, like respect wise. I don't know, like that. There's like weird things. I'm not even saying rule wise, but just like kind of not unspoken even. but just weird things where I think there's like certain fighters that make these choices and they just become so weird and cringy. Jean Silva is the guy who beat Arnold Allen. That like near the end of it, he was like knocked down. Arnold Allen kind of went into the same position that Derek Lewis was in, like turtle position. He's like, it's near the end of the fight, and Gene Silva jumps, like stands on his like back and the back of his head, which is illegal, by the way, to hit the back of the head, the neck, the base of the spine, or even just to kick a downed opponent.
Yeah, I saw a picture
Like
of that on Twitter.
So technically, it was actually a very illegal foul, but it's also incredibly disrespectful. Like, it's like one of those things where like you guys were kind of cool with each other. You were like, they were joking about this is the fight where the two autistic guys are. He's the barking autistic, and he's like, I'm the nice quiet autistic or whatever. Like they were. Oh,
I saw that video.
They were pretty amicable. And like that, and then there was another guy, a heavyweight, who was fighting on the prelims. That is this ex-football player, Hokt. It's like H-O. His last name is Hokt.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy is just too much. He is a very skilled fighter. He comes out of the same camp that John Jones, I believe, either fights in currently or was in Albuquerque.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a he's just all he's doing a ton of, he's like essentially I like the thing I don't want to criticize him for is because I get what he's doing. He's a lower ranked fighter at the time, and I don't even think he's ranked actually technically, but he is a lesser known fighter, still kind of new, very skilled, but like is all Colby Covington. Everybody keeps comparing him to Chael Sonnen, and is not. He is Colby Covington. He is doing too much. Chael Sonnen was a true wrestling fan. Like, Colby Covington. Yeah, this guy. Fuck. You may love it. And this is what I'm saying. I hate this guy.
Well, I like the shit talking, but it is like, from what I'm gathering, the analogy works well because it's like Chael Sonnen and Colby Covington both did a bunch of shit talking, but like Colby Covington didn't have it like Chael did. Like Chael was a generational shit talker. Like his shit talking, from what I've gathered, like changed the way fighters talk shit.
The way people talk shit. This guy is huge. But like
2-0 inside the octagon. How happy are you with the results tonight? I can strangle lightning and mangle thunder. The one who can end world hunger. The bee's knees, the big cheese, and me losing in a fist fight. N-word, please. I got the plums, the size of drums in a division full of Tweedledees.
He's so out of breath, too. He just beat a guy.
Paramount Plus.
You know what it is, too?
He just beat a guy that he was very much outskilled of. And at the end of beating him up, when the guy couldn't get up anymore, he was walking away from him, and he flicked him off. Like this guy tried, the other guy, his opponent, tried to shake his hands at weigh-ins, and he refused, and the guy went, "Oh, okay, no problem." Like he legitimately that behave. I get it, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. You're trying to do the promo. He did end that, by the way, with something that was kind of legitimately funny, but just straight up edgelord shit. That's when I was like, oh, this guy's just Colby Covington the fuck out of this. He goes, and he said something like, by the way, Brittany Griner is a man, and left.
Yeah.
And it was just like, you're just saying you're saying clickbait shit. That's it.
It's also, we haven't given a shit about Brittany Griner in like a year or two.
Also, fight a ranked fighter. If you just beat Cyril Gahn like that, or Curtis Blades, if you beat Curtis Blades like that, I would go, damn, yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But you just beat another guy that I'm not super familiar with.
You know what I also hate about that? It's one thing where, like, I've had fighters clearly many a time they plan out a call out or some shit talking afterwards.
Yeah.
But they don't there's a difference between like, okay, if I win this fight, I'm going to call out this guy and then try to get that fight. But it's usually like, hey man, where you at, pussy? Right. It's not a like, this dude took time out of his like, when I know you took time out of your training to practice in the mirror your like rhyming and shit talking stuff, then I'm just like, I don't know. There's something about it makes your whole thing lack seriousness. You know, it's not that you don't love that. It's just like Chael Sonnen was talking shit because he's a guy who talks shit, and those things like he was like, oh, it'd be funny if I said this. He didn't like stand in a mirror and was like, I'm gonna memorize these lines. Yeah. It's like you had
this guy was almost doing this. Like he was so stiff with it. He was just like, I crap thunder and I can hug lightning. And that, but it kept going into the press conference. We was doing a shtick where he was having another fighter translate for him. And it's like this things where it's like the guy's all bits, and he is I don't want to take away from his performance. He had a dominant, crazy,
he's a good fighter,
impressive performance. But like against another guy that if he would have won, he would have been like, man, that was a tough fight. Like yes, he would not have stood out on all this other things. It's just like it's like Lemaire's point that he was making of like, yeah, if standing out is standing out at this point. Now, like getting a reaction is getting a reaction. You're not always going to get a reaction the way you think you are, but like if he does stuff like this where he just essentially douche maxes the fucking microphone and just goes like, I'm gonna do wrestling promos and I'm gonna wear American flag because I love the troops, and I'm also gonna do this, and it's like all these things of like, if any of those things were truly how you feel, totally cool. I don't care, but I just feel so disingenuous and like you said, scripted, where you're just like, okay, man, if you can do this against Derek Lewis, if you do that against Derek Lewis, I would go like, damn, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
and also
it would constitute a big, but you just beat another unranked fighter on the undercard.
He's also setting himself up for problems because it's like the second you do this against a guy who's like who actually is that guy.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna get exposed for being a silly little dude. All right, this is a good place to wrap it up. This has been very fun. I love you all. Thanks for hanging out with us. We will see you on Wednesday. Stay safe.